The international mediator on Syria will go to Damascus in the next few days to try to broker a brief ceasefire in the war between President Bashar al-Assad's government and rebels during the Islamic Eid al-Adha festival. Brahimi, the U.N. Arab League envoy, told reporters on Thursday after meeting Jordan's foreign minister that a respite in hostilities could build confidence and would help bring about a longer truce in the 19-month-old conflict. "Yes, I am going to Syria. This appeal we made to our Syrian brothers, whether in the government or against the government. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. To stop fighting in the 3 or 4 days of the Eid next week," Mr. Brahimi said. The previous ceasefire in April collapsed after just a few days, with each side blaming the other. Mediator Kofi Annan resigned his post in frustration a few months later. Since then, the war pitting Mr. Assad's troops against a loosely organized rebel force trying to end his 12-year-old rule has intensified. The daily death toll usually tops 100 combatants and civilians, and fighting rages in cities including Aleppo, the country's commercial center, and even the capital Damascus. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. The truce would be self-imposed with no monitoring. This is an appeal to the Syrians themselves that they stop fighting and observe it themselves. This is not the political process or the solution required to the Syrian crisis, Mr. Brahimi added. The Syrian government guardedly welcomed the proposal but said any initiative must be respected by both sides. Turkey, one of Mr. Assad's harshest critics, and Iran, one of his strongest allies, both backed the plan, in a rare display of agreement. Mr. Brahimi will meet Syrian Foreign Minister. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Walid al-Mualim on Saturday, an official in Damascus said. Foreign Ministry spokesman Jihad Makdisi said Damascus hoped his talks in the region, including with countries which back the rebels, could herald something which leads to the success of a constructive initiative. Mr. Brahimi's spokesman Ahmed Fawzi said the envoy, a veteran Algerian diplomat, was working on a new, comprehensive peace plan. It's difficult to put a timeline on it, but it's all coming together. He has completed the circle with this tour of neighboring countries. He needs thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. To go now to the outer circle, to Moscow and China, and look them in the eye and say this will not work unless you support it, Mr. Fawzi said. Russia, which sold Syria arms worth $1 billion last year, and China have vetoed 3 resolutions favored by Western powers condemning Syrian authorities and opening the way to UN sanctions on Damascus. The Kremlin denies trying to prop up Mr. Assad, who allows Russia to maintain the naval supply facility in the port of Tartus that is its only military base outside the former. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Soviet Union. Moscow says Syria's crisis must be resolved without foreign interference, particularly military intervention. Guns in Damascus. Violence racked the country on Thursday, from the desert eastern city of Hasake, where 5 soldiers were killed when rebels ambushed a military truck, to Damascus, where government forces were bombarding outlying suburbs. The pro-opposition Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said dozens of people were wounded when warplanes bombed the northern town of Marek al-Numan, which straddles the main north-south highway connecting Damascus with Aleppo and was captured by rebels. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Last week, more than 140 Syrians were killed on Wednesday, including 62 unarmed civilians, 12 of them children, the observatory said. Syrian officials have questioned whether the rebels, who agreed on a joint leadership on Tuesday to encourage supporters to provide them with more powerful weapons, could commit to or honor any ceasefire deal. But Mr. Brahimi said on Wednesday opposition figures had told him any ceasefire by Mr. Assad's forces would be reciprocated immediately. We heard from everyone we met in the opposition and everyone else that, thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. If the government stops using violence, we will respond to this directly, he said. We hope this will be a very small step that would save the Syrian people, because they are burying hundreds of people every day. The total death toll now stands at more than 30,000 and international players fear that if unchecked, the war could expand into a wider regional conflict between Sunni powers sympathetic to the rebels and Shiites who back Assad.